Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Tricky Jim, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for tuning in. Mythical Island may just be a mini set on TCG Pocket, but it's had a big impact on tournament results and deck representation, with lots of cool new decks making their way to the top. I made a video on my top 5 decks in TCG Pocket a few months ago, and only a couple of those decks are returning for my current top 5 list here in January 2025. If you like Pokemon trading card game content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that I can see the number go up. That would be sweet. Now for my top 5 list, I'm not going to have them ranked in any particular order, as I think any of these decks would be a great choice for an online tournament or to grind out wins on the ladder. Up first, I've got to admit that I somewhat underestimated Aerodactyl EX and his fighting type friends. Aerodactyl has been doing really well on the online tournament scene, and if you don't know about the online tournament scene, well, you should definitely check out play.limitlesstcg.com. It's a great tournament hosting website where you can participate in online tournaments or just check results and deck lists to see what top players are playing on the Pokemon trading card game Pocket. It's an excellent resource that many trading card game communities use to host and play in tournaments, so I'll link that in the description below. Anyways, the fighting deck hasn't gotten any huge wins yet, but it has been pretty well represented at big tournaments and is certainly outperforming and outpacing my expectations, which is one of the reasons that I'm putting it on my top 5. Aerodactyl EX is just a nice vanilla beat stick stage 1 attacker, does 80 damage for 2 energy, has a somewhat annoying ability that can prevent your opponent from evolving their Pokemon in the active spot. But I think it's the supporting cast that really helps take this fighting deck to the next level. The new Primeape and Marshadow have also been huge boosts for fighting type decks. Revenge dealing 100 damage for just 2 energy when one of your Pokemon was knocked out is fantastic and can one-hit KO Pikachu EX, and Pikachu EX is certainly still on the map as a top deck in TCG Pocket, as we will see later in the video. And Primeape's Punch does 50 damage for 1 energy, which can pile up damage on the board so that you can clean things up with Aerodactyl EX or your Marshadow. I'm also a big fan of the Mankey that does 50 damage on a coin flip. That can be completely backbreaking if you get a turn 1 Mankey for 50 going second, so I think that's a fun inclusion in the fighting deck as well. What can I say? I like to flip coins. And to top it all off, fighting is one of the few decks that can actually get to Magikarp before it has a chance to evolve into Gyarados, and Gyarados is one of the most popular decks in the metagame right now. Hitmonlee has the stretch kick attack, which only costs 1 fighting energy and does 30 damage anywhere on your opponent's board, which is perfect for picking off those Magikarp before they have a chance to evolve into Gyarados EX, which completely flattens their strategy. While we're here talking about how to beat Gyarados EX, I might as well mention it's also a top 5 deck in TCG Pocket, and it's easy to see why. Gyarados EX is a massive Stage 1 Pokemon EX with 180 hit points, the same amount of HP that Stage 2 Pokemon EX have, and it can do 140 damage with its rampaging Whirlpool attack. Gyarados has been enjoying a ton of tournament success in the last couple weeks, and its most popular partners are Draudigon and Greninja, both of which help to inflict residual damage so that your rampaging Whirlpool can clean one-hit KO anything in the game. The main idea is to sit behind Draudigon while you set up your Gyarados EX and Greninja. Greninja has the Water Shuriken ability, which can place 2 damage counters on any of your opponent's Pokemon once during your turn. And then with Draudigon and Greninja placing those extra damage counters, Rampaging Whirlpool can just clear anything in the game, while Gyarados is not easily one-hit KO'd by anything in the game. The one Achilles heel of the Gyarados deck is the Magikarp with only 30 hit points, which is why cards like Hitmonlee in the fighting deck have been increasing in popularity, and it's also why there's a new favorite partner for Pikachu EX in the Lightning decks. But before we get to the Pikachu EX deck, I want to take a moment to thank my sponsor, Dragon Shield. Dragon Shield makes the highest quality sleeves and accessories for your favorite tabletop games, like the Pokemon TCG. I've been using Dragon Shield sleeves to protect my Pokemon cards for years. They are the longest lasting and most durable sleeves you can buy, and they come in a variety of styles to fit exactly what you're looking for. My favorite Dragon Shield sleeves are the Pink Diamond, Blood Red, and Non-Glare Black matte sleeves. These are the ones that I make sure to keep stocked up in my studio to protect my favorite decks. Head over to dragonshield.com today and place an order for some Dragon Shield sleeves to protect your most cherished Pokemon cards. Use code TrickyJim at checkout to receive 5% off your order. Again, that's dragonshield.com for the highest quality sleeves and accessories. And don't forget, use code TrickyJim at checkout for 5% off. At first, I thought Pikachu EX was kinda doomed with the release of Mythical Island, as I thought the card was getting out-muscled by hot new cards like Gyarados and Celebi EX. But as it turns out, the little yellow mouse has persisted and continues to be a top threat in TCG Pocket. Gyarados EX is no problem for Pikachu when you pair Pikachu EX with Zebstrika and its Thunder Spear attack, which does 30 damage anywhere on your opponent's board for just 1 energy. Like Hitmonlee, Zebstrika can pick off Magikarp before it has a chance to evolve into Gyarados. Pikachu decks also get a huge boost with Dedenne and its Thundershock attack. Dedenne might just be a little guy, but it can make a huge difference by inflicting paralysis on a coin flip while dealing 10 damage. You can stop big Pokemon like Gyarados or Mewtwo EX in their tracks while you build up energy on your board to take KOs that you need to win the game. The other old favorite that continues to dominate is, of course, Mewtwo EX with Gardevoir. This deck is the most popular deck on TCG Pocket and makes up almost a fifth of all of the decks played in online tournaments. Now, Mewtwo decks did get the boost of Mew EX with Mythical Island and its genome hacking attack, which costs 3 colorless energy and can copy one of the opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. But not all Mewtwo decks are actually playing Mew EX. Some Mewtwo decks are playing Jinx now, which does more damage for the amount of energy on the opponent's active Pokemon. The biggest boosts for Mewtwo EX decks are actually Leaf and Mythical Slab. Leaf makes it so that your Mewtwo EX and your Gardevoir can retreat for free on the turn that you play it, giving the deck some much needed mobility, and Mythical Slab makes it easier to set up your Gardevoir quickly and consistently so that you can fire off attacks with Mewtwo EX. Honestly, Mewtwo EX is such a powerhouse that it's not going to go anywhere until they print a very powerful Darkness Pokemon, which I fully expect them to do in our next set, since there aren't any Darkness-type Pokemon EX yet, I think. Oh, and now it is time for the final deck on my top 5 list, and there are many to choose from. My first top 5 had 2 fire decks featured on it, and this one will have 0. That's right, I think fire decks are falling off right now. And for the record, I think that Golem deck that won the first major Urza Day online tournament is completely fraudulent. Everybody that's trying to play that deck is failing. The deck only has a 45% win rate, and I think that first major win was kind of a fluke. In a major twist, Exeggutor EX stocks are actually through the roof right now. Exeggutor EX has won many online tournaments in the last few weeks, partnered with Celebi EX and Superior. And I think what Exeggutor EX brings to the Celebi Superior deck is tankiness, as Celebi EX only has 130 hit points. Exeggutor EX has 160 hit points and can put pressure on the opponent's Pokemon for just 1 energy while you build up your Superior and your Celebi EX to sweep the game at the end. I kind of see the Celebi Superior deck evolving to include the Exeggutor EX as a similar progression that the Fire decks have made with Moltres EX and Charizard EX, and then eventually evolving to include Arcanine EX as well. Having these different avenues and attackers to take on each match has led to more tournament success overall. And that does it for my top 5 decks in TCG Pocket January 2025 edition. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if I skipped out on one of your favorite decks, make sure to let me know which one in the comments below. Now y'all take it easy and have a good one. See ya.